G'day guys. Okay, so let's quickly talk about yesterday's breakout. So today's discussion is Bitcoin breaking out and the future targets that I'm thinking about it. So let's just quickly do a recap on my track record for all the setups that I shared with you guys. So real short, if you look at the emojis, you can clearly see since I've simplified things down for you guys by just sharing the buy and the sell boxes. We had a really good, nice short there, followed by another one along that mist in between. Nice little breakout pump, and a nice little dump again, another continuation of move. And the rest is history. Here we are today, and we're sitting in a situation where the last setup that I shared with you guys failed. Okay, now that means that the way that we're going to be looking at the target leading into the future needs to change somewhat, because I love the fact that it failed for my hodl bags and for my investment bags, but from a trading point of view, it's always sucky. Now, what do I mean by using a term like always sucky? Well, simple. I was in along with everybody in the Discord last night. This was the setup. We went long at 106, and the idea is that we needed to sell at 107.2-ish. So there's everybody that traded, made their money, we sold, and then the bloody breakout came and the market pumped like a crazy thing. So there's always this. This is a really good day and a really good lesson for anybody wanting to trade for a living. And the reality is you don't know what the future is going to hold. Okay, simple as that. And hindsight, I would have loved to just keep that position because I would have 25 times by now the amount of money that I risked to take the trade. But it's life. It's one of those things. So in times that we do fail, like we've done with the short, we have to go and look at the larger time analysis and scale this thing back down to where we trade so that we don't miss something or become stubborn in the sense that it is still bearish. We have to. It's going to fail. It's going to come. Because let's face it, I'm not here to try and be right. I'll do whatever I need to do to make money. That's the goal with trading. First rule of trading, don't lose money. Second rule of trading, make money. Simple as that. So over to the comments. Let's quickly see it. Morning, Renee. Morning, Liquid Dogs. Peter is saying he's not joining in live. He's on a webinar, so it's just me flying solo today. Saying share some love. Yeah. Let's all feel better of the fact that we were in the long. That could have made us retire today, and we ended up closing it early. Now, if you want to trade with me, guys, you're more than welcome to do that. Open a Bybit account using the partner link, the link in the video description, and then go to my Discord, and it's as simple as just going to the navigation channel, going to the partner roles button, and claim your Bybit partner role. This will allow you, just claim it there. This will allow you to interact and chat with everybody in the Discord. And simple as that, no cost. Simple as that. Open your account today. Okay. Now let's talk about the larger time frame analysis so we can quickly get into what and how I was thinking. So from the hodl crowd, from the investment side of crypto, not trading for a living side, I explained to you guys, and I've made a couple of shorts on this as well, that the Fibonacci sequence of numbers does not just relate to a fib level like we get used to, 23.6 or 38.2. These are all percentages. It's not just there. You can apply it on time analysis as well, meaning that if you look at the fib sequence numbers, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Okay, so if you look at it from this point of view, once we start getting into multi-week, in this instance because it's a weekly analysis, pumps, meaning you've got 5 blue candles and you get the 6th one, which is what we had last week. I said, and I'm going to stick to it, plays out beautifully, that you can expect 8 candles, meaning we can expect this week to be blue, which we're in at the moment, and we can expect another week to be blue. At minimum, resistance will only enter from a Fibonacci level again at around 8. Get the 9th one, which I would love to see, then we can expect 13. Now, the funny thing is, if you go and count the previous bull market, the weeks that it was bullish, you'll count 13 of them. So go and do that. I'm going to leave that with you. 13 consecutive bullish weeks until we reach the top. So, and the same for the retrace. It will probably be the quickest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, I counted that one now, 14. So this is the 14th one. So there you have it. Okay. And then that was the end of the dump. So those numbers carry a lot of value to just kind of keep you in the right sentiment. Okay. Now, let's take away those numbers and let's talk about when divergences kick in, because obviously once we move into all-time high territory, it becomes really hard to know what to do next. So what I would suggest for anybody from a hodl point of view, and remember, I cannot give you any financial advice. I can merely just point out the risks to reward and the statistical data. And what I would say is that it would be better for you going forward to bet that the trend is going to continue on than to expect that it needs to dump so that you can get orders filled if you're sitting on the side. Because that's what normally happens for people getting trapped at the top, is that we've been waiting the whole time for the lows that never comes. And so ride with the momentum and give the momentum time, because clearly that is your friend at the moment. Treat it like that until it fails. Okay. Now, statistically, when we talk about strong bearish divergence occurring, so if we're looking at this saying, okay, what is their strong bearish divergence? Okay, let's do that for the weekly time frame. What I would need to see is price going higher and the RSI and the volume being lower, so we can have a look at that. Okay, and then I would want to see if we then need to act on that. So if we look at this price structure where our last pivot was, the RSI is the tool that kind of identifies the pivot. It moves in the direction, it changes direction, it pivots. Okay, so if we look at that, the area where we need to look at is $104 for a pivot. And now I want to see whether the fact that price is above that range is the RSI above that range. And no, it isn't. So strong bullish or bearish divergence is definitely in play. But strong bearish divergence, guys, is not a bearish signal. It's not a something that you need to act on as bearish. It's just telling you that the momentum is reaching a point where it's in so much in the favor of the bulls that at some stage a flush or a retrace will come. And the way that you navigate this is very simple. Anything you do, any buy you take between from where the originating pivot is, which for price-wise is 107, up to where you are at that stage is still a buy zone, meaning you can still go long in this situation and expect the market to stay above and keep on going, and only worry, this is where you need to manage risk, only say you were wrong or the market has failed once price falls below that level again at 104. So anything between where we are now at 111,000 all the way down to 105,000, to round down the numbers, or to round up the numbers, is a buy zone from an investor or hodler point of view, because who's to say that we can't go to 130? There's still juice left to be squeezed out of this move. Okay. All right. So that's how you should read your divergence. Now, also, just something to take note. The weekly needs to close in order for that divergence to count. But where we're at right now, it's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, what needs to happen for there not to be divergence? We've already had a weekly close above these levels. So we've already got divergence. So even if this candle now closes down here, the divergence is there, and that would cement that it is bearish. So there is divergence, but it is a bullish signal unless we fall below 104. Okay. Any questions in the comments so far? Let's see. Modin finally got to the live. Nice to have you. Thanks for joining in live. Garth is here. Hello, buddy. Dean is here. Nice to have you here. Let's see what Raven has to say. Is holding Bitcoin good enough to make profits? I don't fucking know. Listen, I would love to be in a coin that would make me 10,000 percenters. I had this debate. I had this debate a long time ago. Not a long time, actually a few hours ago, regarding just that. And the hardest thing about holding Bitcoin and that question is, when I was starting out in the crypto space, there was about 2,000 altcoins. And funny thing is, you can almost remember, there was enough good altcoins that you can almost remember all their names and what they were doing. And the previous bull cycle high, when we were looking at 2019, this 2021, this high, we were sitting at about 22,000 altcoins at that stage. So there was coins popping up with names you don't really know, you can't really keep track on. And the funny thing is where we are right now. If you're going to have a look at the data, there's about 15 million coins at the moment. So the chances that you're going to be in the best coin is so small that I would rather say which is the most adopted coin and be okay with the fact that you will probably not be making 10,000% in this, but at least you can guarantee the outcome. I would rather make a little bit of profit every day and know that it's there than, kind of sitting in dead weight and it's not moving, or it pumps and then dumps and deletes my equity. So it's a double-edged sword. You kind of need to decide what it is you're trying to do. So I've got gamble coins, and we talk about those in the hodl side. The afternoon streams, meme coins that we were looking at, and coins like Trump coin. I think that thing should be smiling at that. You see, Trump coin, buy zone. I'm still looking for that. Those crazy stuff needs to still move. Bonk. All these memes and crazy gamble coins. She was one of those nice movers. Look at the nice upside. That was our buy zone. But when we really want to be serious about money, I think Bitcoin is still good enough because it's safe in the sense that it's mass adopted, it's institutionally adopted now. And anybody can make an altcoin and make big dreams where nobody can make Bitcoin again. It's as simple as that. Okay. Let's see, Leo, how you doing? Yeah. So there's no easy answer, but now let's talk about what we can do this week, short time frame with trading, because this is what the reason behind this video is. Short time frame trading. Okay. So let's do this then. Let's take this analysis that I've shared now with the area where I think this sell zone is going to be, meaning that it still can push higher. It's a bullish signal, and scale this into the 4-hour time frame. Now, the 4-hour time frame works. I like to chart the 4-hour with supply and demand raise, similar to how I look at my hodl movements for Bitcoin. So this was still the notes from the video from the other day that the internet dropped me. And there's all the buy zones from an investor point of view. So if you're that are new to channel, you can basically go and check all the areas where I wanted. I even had buys miss. Where's that box gone to? Let's see. It's maybe switched off. But there's a supply and demand raise that I use for that whole setup. And let's go daily time frame because that's the appropriate line. And so the target is very simple for Bitcoin. We're either going to run out of steam at around 116, 120. The longer it takes, the higher we are, okay? And if we were to claim, go above 180, 120, start trading, opening dailies, open and close there, the target then easily goes to 130. And this is now, projecting this trend as that. Similar as a trend runs. So the market will probably get choppier near the end, like it always does. And then at that stage, we will have divergence occur again, which we don't have at the moment. We're making a higher high and a higher high in the RSI. So this is strong momentum at the moment. It's not locked in though. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We need to trade and keep up with this. So if I go on to the 4-hour, which is the point that I'm trying to make, it's easy then to say that the 4-hour analysis is still good for 120 because that's from a trader point of view where we're at. So we're just now in the buy zone. Now, what's the rule with the buy zone? Very simple. 50% of the candle that makes the higher high, that's the buy. Okay. So any breakout, when you have a big candle like this, put your 50% fib on there. that's the buy. So the continuation of momentum, a big candle makes the higher high, pushes us past the previous all-time high targets, and that candle, you get in on momentum on the 50% level. We've already tested it once, and then you want to try and ride this with that. So if you feel like you may be a little late, yes, you may be late with a few $100s, but nothing too crazy. You can just widen your stop. Okay. Now I get a couple of trolls, guys, that now, they're really idiots. They don't watch the videos properly and they don't do the research. But then they say that if they look at stuff like this, you're losing way more than you win. But it's not the case. Let me just briefly explain how risk management should work for you guys. You should have your portfolio balance, and that is going to be in dollars somewhere, the amount of trading capital that you have. And when I want to take a trade, I want to risk some of that money. Not all of it, just some of it. And the goal is to roughly put it between 3 to 5%. Which means if I'm wrong consecutively 20 times, I will not even have wrecked my account, because the 5% will technically be less money each time. So it takes about 33 trades in order to wreck an account. 33 times that you need to be wrong in a row with good risk management in order to basically turn an account to zero. That never happens. Okay. Well, it can happen. It's never happened to me. Okay. And that 5% then, if you do the calculation, will have a dollar value to it. Meaning, let's make it simple. Let's say that's $100. So any setup I take from wherever I enter to where I draw the stop line, the value, what needs to leave my account then is $100 and $100 only. If I can achieve a tight enough stop entry, meaning this is now the candles printing, and I'll just change the color for that. So if I can achieve a tight enough stop entry that I can buy 2 Bitcoin and only lose $100 before it hits my invalidation, great. If my entry is big enough and I can only buy 0.1 of a Bitcoin until it hits the invalidation and $100 is out of my account, that's okay as well. That's the amount of leverage that I need to go and calculate. That's when I know whether it's a 10x or 20x or 30x trade. So you will find that in the Discord when we share our trade setup. So I get this question a lot. How much leverage were you using to take a trade? Let's go to the info area and end up making not 7%, but 21% or 37%, and or 140%. That is because when you take your trades, you would potentially have more leverage, but you'll still be using less of the account because the risk is always only going to be $100. So I can win 180%. I didn't 2x my account. I've basically 2x'd the amount of money I risked at that stage. That's it. That's all I did. So if I took $100 risk, I would have made $189 on that long. That's all that I would have made. And that's proper risk management, and that's what you need to do. So everybody's been trading here. They've been posting their trades. I do this live with everybody. They do take their own trades. I didn't short at 107 or 104, but there you have it. So you can see the trades that everybody takes, and come and join, come trade with me. So especially if you're new, Raven, come and learn. It's as simple as that. Okay. That's about everything for today. So in short, what have you learned? What do we need to take away? Well, 2 days left. If you're in South Africa and you want to get a better deal in your TradingView subscription, I normally wait for the end of the year. But if you're there, go grab it. There's a nice deal there. No links, no nothing, just to save you some money. And what have I learned then basically for this setup? In short, it's too soon to go bearish again. I don't have anything bearish. So the bearish thoughts needs to be removed from your mind. And where we're at right now would be a good area to go long again. Now, it's not a 4-hour swing. It will be a scalp swing. So what I will do is I will mark that daily out. I will zoom into the 15-minute. And in the 15-minute, I would just wait for the price to go and test either a demand zone or give me strong bullish divergence, meaning go make a lower low with the RSI. Let's just get this back to the nice green with the RSI not doing that. Okay. That's what I will be waiting for. And that's what I will be waiting for with everybody in the Discord today. So you're more than welcome to come and trade with me and take the next trade. That's it. That's the whole thing in one nutshell, if I can put it like that. Is there any questions? Let's quickly see. I'm not seeing any comments, anything else. I'm going to end off the stream and say thank you so much for joining. Remember today's big stream, the afternoon, we're going to be looking at the end of bull market time analysis, where we're looking at this pump lasting until November, December this year. And then the frustrating problem that we have with the fact that the dominance is just not working in our favor. I've even offloaded some of my ETH and converted them back into Bitcoin. And for that same reason, because I am convinced that alt season myth has now died out and I need to readjust my expectations. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're going to be looking at those setups. So there's the charts. We're going to be looking at ETH. We're going to be looking at Solana and all the other ones that we have. I am the chart artist. If you want to go follow me on Twitter. Why? Because I draw on the charts. It's as simple as that. I really appreciate everything. Are you swimming? Yes, I swim every morning, man. I go to the pool and get my swim in there. Let's see. I'm holding Trump coin as I was told. Huge pump expected. Hopefully I get profits then dump. Look, I'm vouching for you because I'm holding Trump coin as well. But you know, that's the gambling part of crypto. You know, when we look at these memes, it's always a little bit of gambling, and you gotta have the big three. You need to have your Bitcoin. You need to have some Ethereum probably, and then you need to have an alternative. Solana, in my opinion, I think is no longer the one because Solana doesn't have enough to even reclaim 180. Maybe Sui is the better bet at the moment. It's stronger. I'd rather, and I'm myself at this stage kind of debating whether I need to sell my Bitcoin and move it into Sui. So I'll share my thoughts with you guys. I mean, that's where we bought Sui back in the day, but who's to know when something launches, this is going to be the one? What made Sui at that stage different from the hype around Celestia or the hype around OP or the hype around Aptos or any of those other coins that at one stage was the next millionaire maker? And you don't know. So once something matures, which I don't think Sui has done yet, that's when you start moving your safe funds in there, you know, your retirement funds. Bitcoin's matured. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I want to make the money as well. I'm with you, Raven, and I want to make money. That's what we are here for. So that and more in this afternoon stream. So have a lovely day, Martin. Thanks for joining. Thanks for enjoying the show. Make sure to like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. You know the drill. And I'll see you later on. Cheers, guys.